Hello and welcome back to the Edinburgh Watch Company YouTube channel. My name is Jonathan, and on today's video I'm going to show you 6 fabulous watches from the Omega Seamaster collection. Find out more by visiting our website at edinburghwatchcompany.co.uk, and there you'll see photographs, technical specification, pricing, but of course if there's anything else you'd like to know, then please just give me a call. But before we go and look at the Omega, let's go and have a quick wristwatch check. And today I've got something very, very special. Now this is from the British brand Bremont, and this is a watch we've had before. It is the Codebreaker. I think one of the most fabulous watches they've ever made, a flyback chronograph with a tremendous history right down to Bletchley Park and of course Alan Turing breaking the code. This is a very special watch, and you can find out more about it because we shot a video a few years ago, and there's a link that will click up on this page there. You can go and have a look about it. This one's just come into stock. It's a really, really fabulous and interesting watch. Definitely one worth a look at. Okay, so before we just go and have a look at the watches, the Omega Seamaster. It's a model that has been out for many, many years in Omega's collection. Of course, a very, very popular model, and one that often compared, of course, to the Rolex Submariner and the Sea Dweller range. And the models that we have today are, I guess, for all shapes and sizes, from 37mm right up to 45.5mm. But we've also got 2 very special pieces. So please just stay on board and watch, because I think you'll like a couple of these pieces we've got to show you. So we're going to kind of start off on the small size. Now our audience, I guess it's fair to say, are mainly guys, but we do have a number of ladies that like to see what we're doing and of course love their watches too. And as we know, ladies aren't really wearing such small watches anymore, and particularly a lady who's maybe an active, sporty lady wants something a little bit bigger than a traditional lady's dress watch. Well, the Omega brought out a watch within the Seamaster collection, and it's 37.5mm. You'll know that Rolex, of course, did the same with their Yachtmaster. They brought out a 37mm Yachtmaster as well. So this is a perfect size, albeit this watch came from a gentleman. He had a slightly smaller wrist and didn't want that sort of chunky watch, and this one did the purpose very well. So this one we have here is the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean. Now the Planet Ocean compared to the Seamaster goes down to 600 meters, so it is a slightly thicker case on it than the normal Seamaster, but it's just a really lovely looking sports watch. Now it's automatic, it's also a chronometer, so that means it's got to perform to within -4 to +6 seconds per day. It has a sapphire crystal, a nice black dial, and a really, really strong loom on the hour hands as well, making it very, very easy to read. It has the useful date function here at 3 o'clock, and a nice little orange tip on the second hand as it glides around, and then Seamaster in orange as well. The bezel here is in stainless steel, but it's actually a unidirectional bezel, so typical for a dive watch. And you'll see here it has the Omega logo on the crown there. This crown screws into the side of the case, and then here on the left hand side you have the helium escape valve as well. Now with the Omegas, their design is you actually unscrew this to let the helium out of the watch and then screw it back in again. So for those of you who have these watches, always just periodically just check that this crown is screwed tight, and also the same with this one here. The bracelet on this is a sports bracelet there. As you can see, it's in a sort of satinized brushed finish to the bracelet, and it has a useful extension there. You can actually pull that there, so if you're going to be wearing it with a dive suit, it just slips over there. On the case back, you can see here it has what we call a display case back there. So crystal back there, you can see a Planet Ocean engraved on the side there, and it allows you to see this lovely rotor spinning around, and very much a watch to enjoy. I'll let you see this one on my wrist. I think with the extension it's going to fit, and just to give you an idea, now my wrist, just for reference, is an 8-inch wrist, so it's definitely one of the bigger wrists, but it's just a nice looking watch. And I'll hold it up to camera there, and just to give you a perspective there of what it's like in thickness. So definitely a thicker watch, but I think it works. Just looking at the watch now, it's just, you can barely see the crystal on the glass. It's just like almost looking straight through onto the dial, and it's really, really nice. And not a lot of money really, and in condition, well, it's absolutely perfect. It came in having been worn very, very occasionally, And of course, we then sent it away to our service center, which is an Omega certified center, to be all checked over, pressure tested, regulated, and just everything it needs. All of these watches you're going to see today, apart from the very last vintage one, have all the original box and papers. In fact, all of our watches here at Edinburgh Watch Company have all the original box and papers. And I know that's something that our viewers like. They like that provenance. It just gives you the confidence when you're buying this watch to know it's all perfect. And then when you choose to sell it, whether you're selling to a dealer, privately, eBay, wherever you choose to sell it, that next buyer, again, they're going to like that too. So moving on from the 37mm, we're going to go up a size. And this is now a discontinued model. It's a very popular model within the range, and this is the 41mm Seamaster 300m. Now, the model before this had the sort of wavy lines, and this watch I think is around about 2017. The wavy lines stopped, and this has a plain blue dial on it. You'll notice that the bracelet design is slightly different on this one than the one we saw before, but this is very typical to the Seamaster 300m range. So again, the basics of the watch, it's an automatic, again a chronometer, so really accurate, waterproof down to 300 meters, and it has here the same screw-in crown and the helium valve that we saw on the Planet Ocean. But this watch is slightly thinner to wear, so it's a really good sort of everyday watch, a very popular watch made by Omega, and they've sold literally thousands and thousands of them. On the earlier model I spoke about, when you had the wavy dial, you also had the aluminium bezel insert, but that stopped, and this is now ceramic. Again, Rolex have done the same thing, and many other manufacturers have done the same thing too. Well, why, you ask? Well, it looks good, but also it's more resistance to scratches and chips as well. So it's harder wearing. It's not indestructible. If you were to drop it on a stone, you might crack it, but for general use, it's much better. This also features the unidirectional crown, and really nice contrast for the hands here, and the luminous hour markers around the dial. And again, you've got that date function there too. Now on this generation of watch, the back of it there has that famous Seamaster horse on the back, and the newer models have got the glass back on it too. The bracelet on this one, also you can pull this one to extend it as well, so again, nice and easy to do if you are looking to go diving with it. So this was just a one owner watch that came in, and we sent it away and had it all prepped, and just let you have a quick look. Now if you see me looking down, it's because I've actually got a monitor here, and I just want to make sure I've got this nicely focused so you can really appreciate the best angles of this watch. But again, with an 8-inch wrist, it's fine for me. It's just a nice size. I think it's around about 41mm. And again, I'll hold it back up to camera there so you can see it's actually quite a slim watch. I think it really works. It's a really good price point as well. Now, I'm not going to go through the prices today because prices are changing all the time. But if you can look on our website, again, Edinburgh Watch Company there, and you'll be able to see all of our latest stock, because although we're shooting this video today, some of these watches may be sold by the time in which you go and view the video. And we've done, gosh, over 500 videos now over the last 8 years, so we've done certainly loads of them. So maybe worthwhile just having a look back through our library and just seeing the watches that we've had in the past, because there might just be something that you're looking for that we've actually shot a video for in the past. So we now go bang up to date. This watch here was bought, I think, at the tail end of 22. And this is the very latest in the Omega Seamaster 300m range, and this has the most fabulous green dial on it, green bezel, and I think this is probably the hardest one to get in the range apart from the Bond series, but it looks really good. It's almost like looking at like a 911 Porsche, isn't it? You can recognize a 911 from a distance, you know it's a 911, but whether it's from the 70s or right up to 2023, it's got that sort of iconic shape to it. Well, I think it's very similar with the Seamaster 300, whether it's this blue one here that goes back, you know, literally 6 years ago, or this one here is the latest model, you can tell it's a Seamaster, very similar to likes of a Submariner. So what do you get? What's the difference? Well, the case size is slightly increased. It's now about 42mm, so it's not too much bigger. Again, it retains that ceramic bezel. The movement in it now is a highly accurate master chronometer METAS movement, so really strong resistance to magnetism, very accurate. and the waves are back. So they have these lovely waves going across the dial, but they've actually moved the date wheel on this one was at 3 o'clock. You can see here, this one's actually gone down to 6 o'clock. Can't explain why, it's just part of the design is what they've done. The loom, I'd say, is probably even stronger on this one here. The bezel rotates again unidirectionally. You've got that same screw-in crown where you can see here you've got the case guard protectors. But the helium escape valve has changed the design slightly, and it's almost like a cone shape on it there. So again, a slight change to it. Bracelet, quite familiar here, except they have designed a new feature, which if I look down here, you can see where it says push, where I'm pointing with my thumb. If I push that button then, I can then just slide the clasp out. So this very easily allows you to micro adjust the bracelet without the need of any tools at all. And it just works so well. So quick wrist shot here for you. Those colors are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? They work really, really well. The metal bracelet. And again, just giving you a perspective of what it's like on the wrist. These are around about $5.5, I think, if you can buy them. Certainly the whites, the blues, the blacks are easy to get. Talking of black, we've also just bought a 2021 black dial version of this. We've just sent that away for a gentle refurb. That should be back with us in a couple of weeks. So if black's your color and they are less expensive as well, then that's maybe worth having a look at. Same watch, just a different color dial. So a really, really super watch for the money. And you know, if you're looking for a diver's watch, but you're not quite looking to spend what you'd need to buy like a Rolex Submariner, then don't worry, this is a really good watch, and I think you'd be absolutely delighted with it. This will last you a lifetime, and one that you could pass on to the next generation. So sticking with the Seamaster, we now have something very special, all the way from the Bond franchise 007. This watch we have here is brand new. It's 2023, and it is the new James Bond 60th anniversary watch, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. It really is. Now you'll look at the bracelet there and you'll think, oh gosh, that's familiar. Well, it's the same style of bracelet as they used for the No Time to Die watch, which was in titanium. And again, what they did with that watch is they slimmed the case down. They made it still a 300-meter watch, but the date was removed from the dial on the watch, and they've retained that here with this one here. So again, this has got the slimmer case, but rather than being the sort of brown dial and titanium, this one is made in stainless steel. The bezel here, it is in blue as well, and while the dial is very, very luminous, so is the bezel for nighttime reading. It has the most beautiful fine wavy lines going across the dial. You can see the lollipop hand there for your second hand, and this gorgeous mesh bracelet on it here. Now these are really, really hard to get, and we're very, very lucky to be offered this watch recently. And I'm going to actually open this bracelet up because I want to show you something really special about this one. Now if we look at the bottom here, you can see, I'll just get this in focus there, that it has 60th anniversary there. But if you look very closely, you see in the center of the dial there, you can see 007 actually walking across the back of the glass. Now that is an absolute, very, very cool thing to have as a dinner party to talk about. It's rather nice. The bracelet is really, really comfortable though. It's, again, this way this works here is you open this flap here, you slide it through, you select the setting you want, you push it down, and it just clips in. And on the wrist, it's absolutely superb. I think you can probably tell I like this one. I think it's just great. I think the Seamaster, always loved the Seamaster. My kids have got Seamasters. They really like them. And the size, it's not too big. It's a really clear dial. Really, I love the vibrancy of the white contrast against the blue. The mesh bracelet's a bit old school, but it's got, you know, the clasp is just lovely. So it's a really, really cool watch. Again, there's barely any of these around, and yes, it is over list. We had to pay over list to get it, but you know, if you want the 60th anniversary, then I think it's definitely worth it. Again, look how slim it is. It's lovely, and the bracelet's super light as well. Yeah, that's a really nice one. Really pleased to have been able to get this watch into stock, and to my customer who kindly let me have it, a big thank you to you. So we're going to go now. We've gone from 37mm to 41 to 42. We've got the new Bond watch, and then we're going to go back to Planet Ocean because we have got one of their big daddies. Is again the 600-meter Planet Ocean, but this is the chronograph one. Now this is quite definitely for someone who wants a big, chunky diver's watch. You may be used to wearing a Breitling or something quite big, quite heavy, and you just like a big watch. It works very, very well. Lovely black dial, ceramic bezel, again an automatic chronometer movement, and you can see here on the right hand hour marker, sub dial there, the orange tip. Same on the second hand, you can see gliding around the dial there, and then the orange writing at the bottom there, 600 meters, and then of course the date window built into that. So superb watch, all manufactured in stainless steel. It definitely has some weight on it, but you know, when that's fitted properly to your wrist and you're used to wearing a bigger watch, you know, you'll be fine. Being the chronograph function, the top button there start stops, and then the bottom one resets it. And you know, as you push the buttons in, you can really just feel the quality of engineering that Omega put into their watches. This one's mounted onto the stainless steel bracelet there, and again small screws, so you can adjust that there, and it has the ability, this also has that, you see that it says there push at the bottom there, you can slide this in and out to micro adjust it, and then you've also got your extension link for diving as well. So yeah, I mean, I can just even feel, you know, comparing this watch to the others, there is a definite weight in it, but we've sold quite a lot of these through the years. And importantly, it's got a really, really good saving on it compared to list as well. So, you know, the new Omegas, you know, they are available in the shops, and anything that you can buy in the shops is going to generally depreciate compared to the Rolexes, you know, the APs, the Pateks you can't get. But that's why we've got this one, probably with near enough £2,000 off list, so a really, really good buy. This here just gives you a perspective there of its thickness. And again, like the newer Seamasters we saw before, you've got this lovely big glass display back on it as well. So a really handsome looking diver's sports watch. So we now come to our last watch, and for those of you still here, thanks for bearing with us. It's really great to be talking back on video again. I've been away from the camera now for probably about 6 months through the summer, and I love watches, and you keep phoning me up and reminding me that I should be doing these videos again. So hopefully they add some value and you're enjoying them. But there's no point us doing these videos if they're not hitting the spot for you. So please let me know what you think. You know, drop some comments in below and just tell us, or pick up the phone to me and say, look, this is what I think you could do better, because it's important to me that you enjoy what we do. So here we go. This is pretty rare. No, it's very rare. Probably one of maybe 150 in the world, I would say. And we were fortunate enough to get this watch from a lady, and it was her late husband's watch, and he was a commercial diver, and he was given this watch by Omega as a sort of a watch to test, to evaluate. You'll see when you look at it here, it's a bit like a ProProf, which of course is the modern version, but this is a very, very old, I think it's called the Seamaster 1000. It's not one I put on the website, it's one I bought. I just thought it was very special to have got a watch like this from, you know, the original owner's family. It went back to Omega. I think they changed the dial on it, they gave it a service. But everything else is pretty well as it came, and you'll see here it's got the left hand crown on it there, it's got the date, and it's got a really fresh dial. I think when these watches were used and tested, the dials used to sort of break down a little bit, so I suppose for some they'd rather have the original dial in a poorer condition, but you have the knowledge that this one went to Omega and it was properly serviced, and they just replaced that part on it, and we have the receipt for it as well. And lovely bracelet too, really nice. And you can adjust it slightly, but it's a little bit too small for my massive wrist. But this just gives you an idea here of what it looks like. And we're not trying particularly hard to sell this watch. I just thought, as we're talking about Seamasters, what a lovely watch this would be just to share with you. But yeah, if this is something that someone watching this has been looking for, trying to find a good one, then definitely worth me giving me a call, and let's have a chat about it. So again, quite a thick watch. It was built for a purpose, and what a lovely watch to end the video with. So that brings us to the end. My thanks to you all for watching. We've got some more videos coming along soon. We're talking about our latest Datejust collection and some of our Rolexes that are coming in as well. And we'll try and just keep these videos coming fairly regularly. And again, it's got to work around the business, so we'll just do them when we can do. But also, things are changing. We know that people are watching on YouTube and others prefer Instagram, some prefer Facebook, and of course TikTok is coming at a right rate now, and people prefer these sort of short form videos, much shorter, punchier, to the point. So I'm going to try and mix it up a bit. These slightly longer ones where you probably think that's Jonathan rambling on about these watches, but that's why I do this business. I love watches. I love to talk about them. I think they're just beautiful things to look at, and it gives me an honor to be able to share these watches with you today. So thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed before, then please subscribe, join the community, and we'll try and get some lovely videos out for you. Meantime, have a great week. Bye-bye.